Okay, I'm going to work Stich off of a resource so you can see, just as a reminder on how to, convince him to choose you over something. I'm going to use something high value, so I'm going to use this toy, which I apologize for its phallic nature. It kind of looks like a penis, but it's, for me, I like it. I know it sounds dirty, but because the ball is so hard to get out of his mouth that this gives me, he can grab onto this and then I have something to hold on to. So this is a disgusting toy and I don't usually use it, especially not in videos, but this is actually the go-to toy for now. So I'm going to use this. He's really toy motivated and he doesn't, like you said, he doesn't want to give it back. So instead of having him chase it, I'm going to work him off of it because his intensity is so high. So I'm actually going to set the toy right here so that you can see it in clear sight. And then I'm going to work him off of it. I might try at different angles so that you can see different angles and how I'm doing it. And then I'm going to walk you through, just as a reminder, how I do it. Let's go, buddy. So for starters, as I'm walking towards the toy, I want my leash really loose because it gives me a really clear indication of what he's going to do. Let's Stich, come. Good boy. In that particular moment, I'm actually utilizing his persistence to go out, giving him the line so I can practice a full recall off of the resource. Let's go. A lot of people just get into turns and let's goes like this, let's go, and that's a good thing. But the most important thing he needs to learn is Stich come. So to allow him to go out, get close to the toy and call him off of it is actually extremely beneficial. Let's go. Good choice. Good boy. Here. So again, I approach the toy really loose leash. I can tell he wants to get it. Let's go. That indication was obvious to me. Let's go. Here. Because his ears were very erect and his forehead was scrunched. Whenever he does that, I can tell he's going to go towards the toy. Let's go. So if you're ever confused, like, oh, is he going to go get the toy or is he with me or not? Two indicators. One, is he actually with you? Because right now he's actually all over the place. He's not with, see where he is in terms of my body too. He's not with me. Let's go. Come. Here. And the other indication is this, like this state of mind is good. Yes. It's very soft. His forehead's soft, his ears are soft. He even looked up at me because he's in pack drive and he's with me. So this is him choosing me and him giving up on the toy. Let's go. Good boy. Breezing in front of me and staring at the toy in prey drive. It's super fascinating. Dogs are super simple. Where their body and brain. Nope. Let's go. Good. If their brain physically is in prey drive, stalking that toy, that's where their brain is at. If they're physically in front of me, breezing forward, that's where their brain is at. So it's super simple. You just have to pay attention to it. Let's go. So as soon as he actually chooses me without, good boy. Yes. What? This is unbelievable. Go get the toy. I'm going to give him permission to get it. I do like to wait for eye contact in this particular scenario. I don't think I need this on right now. Get it. Get the toy. Get it. And then I'm going to take him back to his place board after he gets it. Place. I hope you can see this. Yep. Okay, let's go. Place. Good. So what I've been doing with toys and stuff is I've been making him go back to his place, and I'm hoping to condition him that when he gets the ball or the toy, he goes back to his place, because he doesn't want to bring it back, which doesn't make it a game. It just makes him controlling the resource. So if he learns, oh, when I get the toy, I go back to place, now we have a foundation to actually create a real game of fetch. So I'm gonna go over a couple things here. I hope you can see it. It looks like you can, but sit. Sit. So if I want to remove it from his mouth, I don't want to, let me restart. If I want to, if he is not holding on to it with his mouth and it's between his legs and near his chest, I'm going to call him off the place board and grab the toy from him and then reset him on the place board. If he has it in his mouth, you know, like this kind of stuff, like how it's set up right here, if I reach for this, that's fine. Out. But I have to be real slow and careful because that's the kind of scenario where he's going to start guarding. Good. Leave it. If he has it in his mouth, this toy's ridiculous. I just hold the toy and I use the e-collar and I go up one at a time until he releases. I say, ow. Get it. Good. So, and you'll see right here, I don't know if you can see it, but he put his paw over it and he's enclosing it, right? This is how they resource guard. This is mine. When they put their feet over it and they go over the top of it, they're not just playing with it and chewing on it, they're claiming it. So when I gave it back to him, I felt like he got even more possessive over the toy, like, yeah, that's my toy. So I'm gonna reach in again. Out. Leave it. So he has to remove, I want you to see his head. I want to see his head move. There you go. Leave it. Leave it. So I can't remove the toy from him until I see an indication he's removed the toy from his mouth and his mental state of mind. Right? So when you rewatch, I don't know, I'll maybe try to make a video where that scenario is a bit closer in proximity. But a lot of people just want to grab it and pull it, and that creates competition, and it creates more of a reason for the dog to guard. So I don't want to do that. I want him to go, yeah, I'll remove myself from the toy. Take it from me. Let's go, buddy. Sit. I just want to point out a couple things I've done in this video so far. 2 different times, one in the grass and one right there on the place board, he was going to start rolling on his back. Right now, at this phase of training, I'm not allowing that. You know, sometimes they really do just want to itch their back, but a lot of times what they're doing is they're spreading their scent. Because you guys are not well versed in dog psychology, and this is all new to you conceptually, I'm gonna ask that you don't let him roll around on his back at all right now, because I really feel like he's claiming the ground or the place board. He's spreading his scent. He's telling everyone this is mine. You know, he only usually does it in correlation to me controlling him. So it's like, hey, I chose you over the toy. Now I'm gonna spread my scent because I'm not sure I really am on board with that. You see, it's always correlated to me having taken over something that he wants to rub his back on something. So right now I'm just not allowing him to do it at all. I'm eliminating it. And so when he goes home, I think it would be in your favor to eliminate it. And maybe down the road, once we see that he's making better choices and that it's really just not, he's non-problematic anymore, we're not so nitpicky about that. But for now, I think it's a good thing to stay on top of. So I'm gonna work him off of this from a different angle. Let's go, buddy. Make sure you can see me. I'm gonna throw this out. Stitch, come. Drop it, out. That's not what I wanted. Sit. Stitch, come. Hopefully you can see me. creates a little more intensity when I throw it. Let's go. I usually have a heck of a lot more room to move around, but with this video, I have only so much space I can create so you can get it all on camera. Come. Good. You see the level of determination is a bit higher because I created a little more movement with this scenario. So I'm gonna real loose leash, and it's like, where is he in proximity to me? Well, look how loose my leash is. So if you walk up to this toy, he's gonna try and get it. So I knew that he was gonna try and get it because his ears went up. It's so easy if you really pay attention. He's not gonna get it. His ears are soft. The moment those ears erect and that forehead scrunches together, he starts to move forward. So you've got some really good indicators to tell you whether or not he's gonna go. Nope, let's go. Let's go. So if you walk up to the toy like this, or any resource like this, and honestly, even like this, you're forcing it. He didn't choose it. And I'll tell you right now, with the dog that takes as many repetitions as he does, it's really common for an owner to get frustrated and start shortening the lineup because they think that's making it happen. It's not. So I'm emphasizing this because what's going to be really important is that your leash is so loose that he can try to get to that, but not actually get it, right? That's the whole idea. We don't want him to actually get it. So then you really have a gauge to say, is he actually choosing me over this? This is also the fastest way to get him off of a leash. So he's off leash reliable and the exact same format. So we're doing the same thing, but he's not on a leash while we're doing it. Hey, dude. Good choice. Let's go. Sit. Good state of mind, buddy. No. Leave it. So right there, go get the toy. He chose me several times, but I just wanted to keep the video going. Oh, you don't want the toy now? Come on. Hey, get it. Good boy. Yeah. Get it. Good. Let's go. Place. So I just want to warn you that I tried tug-of-war with him, and once I taught him the out command, he didn't want to play tug-of-war anymore because he discovered that I can get it from him. So the toy drive already started to dissipate, you know, it already started to go away, having worked him off of it twice. So that's always an indication to me that the dog is only interested in owning and controlling the resource and not as interested in actually playing with it. We'll see how that goes after the next couple weeks, or 10 days, because he does have a high play drive, but it might be more, I want the resource, so I'll be able to tell more over time. Leave it. Leave it. So I'm not grabbing it right now because the way it is, he's just gonna put his mouth on me. I mean, he's got his feet wrapped around it. His head is over the top of it. Let's go. So I'm just gonna pull him off of it. The other thing I started to notice was a very mild lip curl. Not big, but just mild. Sit. So tell me that he's starting to get aggravated by this activity. Leave it. Leave it. Place. 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 Now I see these little micro expressions you're probably not going to, so it's best to just, if you're not comfortable, don't do it. Pull them off of it. Don't put yourself in a situation where you're going to get into conflict. That's just not going to work. It's not going to train him. And honestly, it just fuels his fire. It makes him want it more. So I could tell he was getting really aggravated, That's why I chose to move him away from the toy since it wasn't in his mouth, instead of trying to create more e-collar pressure. And that could just actually get me bit. So I'm glad that happened in this video, because you got to see two ways in which I would handle getting the resource from him once he's gotten it. So anytime I'm doing any prey drive activity, I do a lot of place work in between. Hopefully in the next few days I can make a video of actually playing fetch or something more animated, so that you can see how I use it in a more exciting way. But I wanted to use a resource today to remind you how to work him off of something, because you're going to be doing a lot of this when he comes home. I do see progress right now. Not as many repetitions every day, less repetitions, but every new resource we go right back to where we began. So that's where he's very challenging, is that you know, oh, new resource, fair game, we're starting from scratch. And I think that's where you have your work cut out for you. But I see a lot of progress, I see a lot of calming down, and I also see a lot more respect coming from him towards me. Like, you know, even if he like kind of freaks out sometimes in the crate room, he barks at other dogs that he doesn't like when they walk by, I can just say, hey, and he'll lay right down. So I'm just starting to see that the respect is there to the point where he's actually listening to my verbal commands alone. So I'm pretty pleased, even though he's a stubborn, dominant boy.